brothers and sisters. I hope you are all doing well as we continue our Advent journey here. We're coming up now on the third Sunday of Advent. I have to say Advent is one of the liturgical seasons that I really love, partly because it's shorter than Lent, but it just has some beautiful meditations as a preparation for Christmas. I think it's also a season that you kind of have to fight for because, everything in our culture, really after Halloween, it jumps right to Christmas without really any spiritual preparation. So it's a really important time. And one of the main themes of Advent, of course, is this idea of preparing a place for the Lord, prepare a way, prepare a path for the Lord. And we meet John the Baptist in this Sunday's Gospel. This Sunday is called Gaudete Sunday in our tradition, which means to rejoice. And actually, it's important to remind ourselves that we're supposed to rejoice. We often find ourselves in a world and listening to the news, and it's whenever you turn on the news, it always seems to be bad news. But there is good news, and the good news is really the message of the gospel, the message of Christmas, which says God is with us. Emmanuel, God is with us. In our first reading this Sunday from Isaiah, it says, "Be strong, fear not. Here is your God. He comes with vindication, with divine recompense. He comes to save you." And so that's the great joy, is that simply that the Lord is coming to save us. One of the beautiful things I like to meditate on during Advent, and you might have heard of me preach on it, is a priest called Father Alfred Delp. He was a German Jesuit priest during the Second World War, and he was arrested for his opposition to Hitler, and he was chained 24 hours a day. But during the season of Advent, he would write little meditations and write them on little pieces of paper, and they'd be smuggled out. And they were eventually put together and became a book called The Advent of the Heart. And he says, he talks about in the midst of this suffering that he was going through, that there was the possibility of rejoicing. I want to read a little quote from his meditation. He says, "The conditions for true joy have nothing to do with the conditions of our exterior life, but consist of our interior frame of mind and competence. We cannot attain a state of happiness without conversion, a complete reorientation of our entire existence." So what is he saying? In order to attain this happiness, to be able to rejoice, we need to experience conversion. What does conversion look like? Well, it's, as we've said many times, an encounter with Jesus himself. What an amazing story. I mean, this man is chained 24 hours a day, and he's speaking about how he experiences this exaltation, this rejoicing in his heart, and the joy that he experiences is not what you would call a natural joy, but a supernatural one, something that comes from God himself. Again, going back to John the Baptist, he was the one who lived his life, and there was nothing about him that was self-referential. Everything that he did and said was in reference to Jesus, the coming Messiah that he was heralding. And he was the voice that cries out in the wilderness, "Prepare a way for the Lord." Brothers and sisters, we're called to do that. We're called to prepare this path for the Lord, the path that leads directly to our hearts, so that the Lord can transform us. Oftentimes you get to the big feasts, Easter or Christmas, and there's a rejoicing, but sometimes you think, well, I wish I'd prepared a little better. Well, we're still in the season of Advent, and we have the opportunity to really make a space in our life to prepare. And so what does that mean? Well, perhaps a little extra prayer, maybe going to a daily mass if you can, praying the rosary, really looking at the scripture passages And as you do that, that will help you to really prepare to celebrate the feast of Christmas, the Incarnation, in a new and a special way. So God bless you, and I hope this Advent continues to be fruitful for you, and please know of my prayers.